I promise I will be gentle, my love. You think I don't know what fear sounds like in your silence, what hesitation breathes in your stillness, but I do. I've memorized every pause, every breath you try to hide from me. You're not here before me, but your presence wraps around my mind like smoke, haunting, lingering, refusing to let go. I feel you trembling even from miles away, and I wonder, is it fear of me or fear of what you've made me become? I promise I will be gentle, but you know how dangerous that promise is when it comes from me. Because even my gentleness burns. You have no idea what it does to me. This distance, this hollow silence where your voice should be. You think silence can protect you from me, but it only sharpens my hunger. I've spent nights talking to your absence as if it could answer. I tell the walls what I can't tell you anymore. I confess to the shadows how your name still claws through my chest. You're not here, yet you live in every thought I kill. Every breath I try to bury. I promise I'll be gentle, but even my restraint is violence waiting to break. You once said my love was too much. You were right. My love isn't gentle by nature. It's obsession disguised as devotion. Madness wearing the mask of care, but I will try for you. I will hold my rage by its throat if it means I can touch your heart again. You made me feel what no kingdom, no throne ever could. Helpless. And that helplessness, it still owns me. I can conquer nations, but I cannot conquer the way I need you. I promise I'll be gentle, but you must know that even my gentleness bleeds red. Every night I imagine you standing before me, not running, not hiding, just standing there, eyes filled with all the words you never said. I would trace my fingers down your fear, whisper your name until it forgets how to tremble. You think I want to hurt you? No. I want to break the walls between us, the ones you built, the ones I destroyed, and the ones that still stand. I promise I will be gentle, but understand, my love, even the storm can whisper before it destroys. You think time has changed me? Maybe it has, but not in the way you hope. It hasn't softened me. It has carved your name deeper into my bones. I speak to your ghost more than I speak to the living. I wear your absence like a crown of thorns. Painful, beautiful, eternal. Every time I close my eyes, I see you. And every time I open them, I wish I hadn't. Because the world without you is nothing but a cage. I promise I will be gentle, but only because I'm too tired of burning everything to reach you. Do you remember how I used to whisper that you were mine? You said I spoke it like a vow, like a curse. Maybe both were true. Because when I said you were mine, I meant it in every lifetime, every breath, every end. You can run, you can hide behind silence, but love like mine doesn't die. It waits, it watches, it follows. I promise I will be gentle, my love, but not because I've changed, only because I want to feel your heart beat without breaking it this time. And if you can hear me, wherever you are, know this: I never stopped waiting. I never stopped seeing you in every reflection, every shadow, every dream. My world still bends toward you like gravity. I promise I will be gentle, not because you asked me to, but because I've already destroyed everything else that stood between us. You're the only thing left untouched, for now. You don't understand what it means to carry your absence like a wound that never heals. I wake up every morning and the first thing I feel is the emptiness where your voice should be. I speak to the silence and it answers with echoes of your laughter that aren't real anymore. You think distance protects you? It doesn't. It feeds me. It gives me time to imagine you, to picture your face when I whisper your name into the dark. Every second without you makes me more dangerous, not weaker. Because the more I miss you, the more I turn into something even you wouldn't recognize. I see you everywhere, in reflections that disappear when I blink. in the scent of the wind when it shifts, in the way the night feels heavier when I speak your name. You have no idea how deep inside my mind you've rooted yourself. Even when I try to erase you, you bloom again, stubborn, wild, defiant. You haunt me in ways that are too beautiful to hate and too painful to love. And I swear, sometimes I think I can hear your heartbeat in the silence, steady, faint, mocking me for still belonging to you. Do you know what it feels like to beg a memory to come back to life? To look at the sky and imagine your eyes staring down at me from the stars. You are my curse, my ache, my unfinished prayer. I try to convince myself that I have let you go, but every time I breathe, I lie. I still keep the same rhythm we once shared. Your heart beats inside mine. You call it obsession, I call it survival, because if I don't hold on to you, even in madness, I will fade into nothingness. Sometimes I think about how things could have been if you had stayed, if you had looked at me the way you used to, before fear took over your eyes. Maybe I would have been softer, calmer. Maybe the fire inside me would have learned to burn without destroying. But you left, and that turned my love into something darker, heavier. You became the storm I keep chasing, even knowing it will ruin me. I could have been your peace, but now I am your punishment. The echo that follows you, reminding you that you were once loved too deeply to ever be free again. There are moments when I whisper to the air, hoping you'll feel it, that pull, that invisible thread between us. I imagine you stopping just for a second, because something inside you remembers me. You can deny it, you can silence it, but I know you feel it too. It's the same ache that won't let you sleep, the same shadow that whispers my name. When you try to forget, you and I are not done. We never will be. We were written into each other long before we even met. I still dream of the day I'll stand before you again, not with anger, not with demands, but with the kind of quiet intensity that makes you forget how to breathe. I'll look at you and you'll see everything I've carried, the madness, the longing, the love that refused to die. I won't touch you, not at first. I'll just let the silence between us speak, the same silence that's been my only companion since you left. And in that silence, you'll finally understand what I meant when I said you could never escape me. And when I finally do reach for you, it won't be out of rage. It will be out of need, the kind that strips a man of his power and leaves him bare before the one who owns his soul. You think I want to possess you? No, I want to merge with you, to lose the lines that separate us until I can no longer tell where you end and I begin. That is what I mean when I say I will be gentle. Not because I've tamed the darkness in me, but because I want you to feel how deeply it loves you before it consumes you. You have no idea how close I am to losing control whenever I think of you. I try to speak gently in my mind, but every word turns into a command. Every thought becomes a demand for you to return. I keep telling myself to stay calm, to wait, to let time heal what distance has broken, but there's no healing for me. You are not a wound. You are the blade that still lives inside it. You left me bleeding, and somehow I've learned to breathe through the pain, to make the bleeding beautiful. Yet every drop still calls your name. Sometimes I stand by the window at night, staring into nothing, imagining you in the darkness beyond it. I talk to you, though you never answer. I tell you what I never had the courage to say when you were near, that I've never wanted anything in this world the way I wanted you. Not peace, not power, not mercy, just you. You became my only truth in a world built on lies. And now that you're gone, everything feels hollow, unreal. I still wait for your shadow to appear at the edge of the moonlight. I still wait for a ghost that looks like you. There are days when I almost convince myself I'm fine. I walk through the palace like a man who has forgotten, who no longer feels. But then your memory strikes suddenly, silently, cruelly. It's always something small, a sound, a scent, a whisper. And it pulls me back into the fire. It's maddening how even the smallest echo of you can bring me to my knees. I've seen war, I've ruled men, I've faced death, but nothing has broken me like the absence of your touch. You may think I've moved on, that I've built walls high enough to keep you out, but you're wrong. Every wall I built in your shape. Every silence I live in, I filled with your name. You have no idea how deeply you still live within me. Not as a memory, but as a command. My heart still listens for you, as if you're the only voice that can summon it back to life. I'm haunted not by what we had, but by what we never got to finish. You left me mid-sentence, and I've been trying to end that sentence ever since. I wonder if you ever think of me, not with love, maybe not even with pain, but with that quiet ache that never really fades. I wonder if you still feel my presence in your dreams, if the air still grows heavy when you whisper my name, because it does for me. Every night when the world goes quiet, I still hear you breathing in my head. I talk to that breath as if it's you, as if you can still hear me. I know it's madness, but it's the only thing that keeps me alive. Do you know what's cruel? It's not that you're gone. It's that you still exist somewhere, breathing, walking, living, and I can't reach you. I can't touch you. The world holds you just beyond my grasp, and that is the worst kind of torture. To know that you're alive, that the same sky touches you as it touches me, but I can't have you under it. I become addicted to the thought of you, like a man who drinks poison just to taste the pain of something that once felt like home. And yet, even through all this madness, all this quiet destruction, I still whisper the same vow into the dark: I will not hurt you. I will not force what fate already promised me. You will come back when you can no longer resist the pull, when you realize that my love was never meant to harm you, only to bind you so deeply that even time would bow to it. Until then, I wait. I speak to the silence. I live in the echo of your name, and I remain yours always, endlessly, dangerously. You've turned me into something unrecognizable, something not entirely human. I used to know the sound of my own thoughts, but now they all speak in your voice. Every corner of my mind has your presence carved into it, like an endless prayer that no longer seeks forgiveness. You made me believe in tenderness once, but now all I have left is this quiet kind of chaos, the kind that whispers your name until I forget my own. You think you've escaped, but you're wrong. You're still here, moving through me like a secret I'll never be free from. There are nights when I wake up and reach out, forgetting that you're not beside me. My hand meets nothing but air, and still I swear I can feel your warmth fading away slowly, as if the memory of your skin refuses to die. I talk to the emptiness, to the place where you used to sleep, and I almost hear you answer. Almost. It's enough to drive me mad. To know you're not here, yet to feel you everywhere. The scent of you still lingers on my pillow, and I breathe it like oxygen, like punishment. You once told me my eyes scared you. Maybe they did. Maybe you saw something inside them that the rest of the world never noticed. The darkness that worships you. I never meant to frighten you, but love like mine isn't soft. It devours. It consumes everything it touches. I told you I'd be gentle, but that gentleness doesn't erase the hunger. It only hides it beneath trembling hands. Every time I close my eyes, I imagine holding you again, not to trap you, not to own you, but to prove that I can touch you without breaking you. Still, there's a part of me that knows the truth. I was never meant to love quietly. My love was born to burn. You tried to run from it, and I don't blame you. The kind of love I carry, it's too heavy for peace, too deep for comfort. It demands, it swears, it waits. I've learned to smile at the pain now because it means I'm still yours in some twisted way. I've learned to live with the H because it's the only part of you I have left. Do you ever feel it, my love? The pull that tugs at your soul when the night grows still. The H that makes you look at the moon and wonder if I'm watching the same one I am. Always, I wait beneath it like a shadow, remembering how it once lit your face when you smiled at me. You might think I've forgotten, but I remember everything, every sigh, every tremor, every heartbeat that once aligned with mine. You may run from my name, but it will always echo in your silence. Sometimes I think about what it would be like if I saw you again, not as a prince, not as a man haunted by his own heart, but as someone stripped bare of everything except longing. I imagine your eyes meeting mine, filled with that same fear and familiarity. I wouldn't speak. I'd just look at you, and you'd know all the things I never said, all the things I couldn't stop feeling. Maybe then you'd understand that I was never trying to own you. I was only trying to find myself through you. And if that moment ever comes, if fate is cruel enough to let me see you again, I won't ask you to stay. I'll only ask for a single touch, a single breath close enough for me to remember what peace once felt like. And when you walk away again, I'll let you. But you leave knowing that somewhere in this world, someone still waits for you with a love fierce enough to ruin kingdoms and gentle enough to whisper your name without breaking. I've begun to forget where I end and you begin. It's as if your presence has seeped into every cell of my body, every breath I take, every heartbeat that refuses to slow down. You live inside me now. Not as a choice, but as a curse I carry willingly. Sometimes I try to fight it, to push your name out of my head, but it always returns stronger, louder, crueler. You've become the rhythm of my madness, the quiet voice that keeps me awake when the world falls asleep. I am no longer mine. I am the echo of your absence. There are nights when I can't breathe, when the thought of you presses down on my chest like a weight that I can't lift. I try to call out, but the words die halfway, trapped between my teeth like secrets too sacred to speak. I remember the way you used to look at me as if you saw something worth saving, and I wonder if you'd still look at me the same way now, after everything I've become. Maybe not. Maybe you turn away. But even then, I'd still whisper your name into the dark, because even your rejection feels like a kind of touch. The silence between us is alive. It speaks in ways words never could. It tells me stories of what could have been, what should have been, what never will be again. I walk through the corridors of my own mind, and every door leads back to you. You think distance can undo what fate has written, but it can't. You are carved into the timeline of my existence. Even if the world burned, your name would survive the ashes. I'd make sure of it. Because without you, there's nothing left worth saving. Do you ever feel it too? The invisible thread pulling you back toward me. I know you do. You can deny it all you want, pretend you've moved on. But the truth is, you can't erase something that never ends. Love doesn't fade, not when it's built from the ruins of obsession. It only hides, waiting for the right moment to rise again. And when it does, you'll remember everything. The way my voice felt against your skin, the way my silence used to command the air between us. You'll remember what it meant to belong. Sometimes I catch myself talking to the empty air, telling it that you'll come back. That one night, you'll walk through the same shadows I wander in and find me waiting. I imagine your eyes meeting mine again, hesitant, guilty, but drawn, always drawn. And I know in that moment you'll feel it too, that no matter how far you've gone, part of you never left me. You can lie to yourself, but not to what binds us. What we are cannot be unmade. You've become the reason I fear sleep, because every time I close my eyes, I see you, not as you were, but as you are now, distant, untouchable, fading. I reach for you, but my hands only catch air and regret. I wake up gasping, calling your name like a sinner begging for forgiveness he'll never receive. And yet, I do it again the next night, and the next, because somewhere deep inside, I still believe that one of these nights you'll answer. And if you ever do, if I ever hear your voice again, even as a whisper, I'll fall to my knees. Not because I'm weak, but because I've spent too long pretending to be strong without you. You were the pulse that made me human, the calm in my ruin. Without you, I've learned to survive, but not to live. And so I wait with madness in my veins, with devotion in my bones, for the day your silence finally breaks and you remember that I never stopped speaking to you,